A lot of men are asking themselves this question right now. Is this it? And this is a question I'm very familiar with because it's a question I've been asking myself for years of my life, for many years too long, to be honest. And it came with other questions like, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? Why doesn't it feel better? What's the point of all this? So I know the frustration and the stress that's attached to this question. It's really hard. And I know that because I've lived it. And maybe you're living this question right now. Maybe this is the question you wake up to every single day. And it almost feels like it doesn't make sense because you've probably built a life that looks successful. It looks like happiness, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't really add up. And that was my experience with it because I built a life that I thought would be happiness, but it didn't feel like that. I had the good job. I was a successful IT career working for a large corporate. I earned good money. I had a nice apartment. I lived in a tropical climate. I got to travel a lot. But at the same time, something felt off. I felt disconnected from it. I felt lost a lot of the time. I felt stuck. I felt empty. I had a lot of anxiety. And I generally just didn't know who I was because when you've been wearing the mask so long, you no longer know who you are. The real you is just buried under success or titles, pressure, stress, expectations from others, or just generally the chase of happiness. And it's like you've lived a life that's written to someone else's script. It's not really your script. And at the end of it all, you just feel lost in yourself. The spark you once had is gone. You don't know your values anymore. You don't know what you need. You don't know what matters to you anymore. It's just buried under all that noise. And you also have no control of your life. You're kind of running on autopilot. You feel like a passenger because you're bowing to the needs of others constantly. You're letting old patterns drain your energy and dictate your life. Your habits are just leading you nowhere, keeping you stuck. And you're left feeling angry and resentful and frustrated, and you're lacking confidence. And you end up taking that out on your loved ones. You also have no sense of direction. You don't see a future that's worth chasing, a future that you'd be excited to wake up to, one that's built on your terms, not society's idea of success. And all this comes to it with a cost. And that cost can be vast across many areas of your life. Relationships suffer because you're not really present day to day. You might be numbing out on unhealthy habits like drinking or just overworking just to distract yourself. Your health is deteriorating because you're not taking care of yourself. You have no energy because your habits are draining you. You're losing yourself more and more. You're stressed, and that's leading to burnout. And you also have regret because you don't want this for your life, but you also don't know how to change it. I know how that feels because I was stuck in the middle of this for far too long, feeling like it'll never change. Fulfillment and purpose is completely out of reach. So if you're a man that's feeling this, who's tired of the same shit, who's tired of drifting, who's tired of being tired, then today this video could be for you because I'm going to show you there is a way forward. There is a brighter future, and I'm going to explain what that looks like. So imagine you have clarity on who you really are. Imagine you're no longer second guessing these things. You know your identity, you know your values, your needs, what's important to you. You know what's what lights you up in life, and you know what makes you you. And when you have this, you have a compass in life. You no longer have to second guess choices. You no longer have to second guess decisions. You no longer have to fold to the demands of others. You no longer have to chase things just to feel enough because you have confidence in who you are. You're very grounded in that. Also, imagine you take control of your life. You make decisions and choices that are from a place of confidence and self worth. So instead of working late because your boss pressures you or people pleasing because you're afraid to say no, you start making choices that benefit you from a place of confidence rather than from guilt. You have boundaries that protect your needs so people are clear on where they stand with you. You have habits that keep you in the driver's seat. So instead of habits that are designed to distract you from reality, you have habits that are actually energizing you. They're actually leading you in the direction you want to go. They're actually making you healthier, both body and mind. And you stop reacting in life, you start leading. So instead of snapping at your loved ones, or rushing decisions. You're responding with clarity and control. And imagine you're also a man who knows where they're going and why. So you're not following some other script. You're not following someone else's plan. You're waking up with a clear plan daily and a structure that goes with it. You have a vision. You have a vision of a future that's it's not based on external pressure. It's a future that's for you, designed for you, and for your needs. And I'm sure this all sounds good to you. And I'm sure you're also thinking it's not really possible. And I know that feeling. I know how it feels to feel like it's unattainable for you, almost like you don't deserve it. But it is possible. And I'm going to show you how. So I'll take you through the process I use with clients to get them back on track. In my process, there's no bullshit, there's no hacks, there's no fluff. The Grounded Man is a personalized, grounded, and actionable process. It's not a one size fits all solution, and it's a process where you're supported every step of the way. In the process, there's three phases. The first phase is grounding. We start by taking a look at where you are today. So we start by looking at the habits, the behaviors, your mindset, and what's holding you back in life today. And I support you in bridging the gaps. And we start to build a picture of who you really are underneath the noise. So your values, your needs, what's important to you. And this is your foundation going forward. This is the roots of your future. There's no more second guessing. Now you have a compass to move forward. And this is just like one of the clients who I had who felt disconnected for a long period. And what we discovered is that contribution and impact were core values that he wasn't expressing in his work. So, recognizing this, he was able to readjust, he was able to change his approach and realign with those values. And it made an instant impact on how he felt. The second phase of the Grounded Man is growth. And this is where you strengthen your identity with the actions that reflect who you truly are. So gone is the people pleasing, no more unhealthy habits, I should say, no more procrastination, no more feeling like a passenger. With my support, you start taking action so you're in control of your destiny. You're making clear decisions, choices that benefit you. You're developing healthy habits that energize you, setting boundaries that reflect your needs. You're following through on plans, and you have a structure that supports your life. This gives you control and strength to move forward with confidence. And I had a client who wanted to have energy to spend with his family. And he was unable to switch off from work, which was affecting his sleep. He had chronic sleep deprivation. So, what we did was we identified the patterns and we changed them. And within a few weeks, he was able to get a good night's sleep and feel much healthier and much more present in his life and with his family. As we move on to the third phase, which is expansion, and this is redefining a future on your terms. It's fueled by your identity and control. So you're no longer chasing a future that doesn't feel like yours. You're no longer wasting years going down the wrong path. This is a direction tailored just for you. So you're living with intention and you're building a life that matters. And a recent client I've been working with did exactly this, and he's feeling the full benefit. With my help, we were able to build a future that he's excited about, one that's tied to his values and needs. So this takes in his family plans, his career goals, and other side projects he wants to explore, as well as the steps to get him towards that. One that allows him to achieve the goals that are important to him. And that is the path to purpose. Inside the Grounded Man, you become the man you deserve to be. And you do with the structure and support of someone who's been in the same shoes as you. So in my life, I went from a life and career that felt meaningless to rebuilding a new life that energizes me. So I started my own business. I started spending more time with my family. I stopped drinking. I started working out regularly. And I generally just started taking control, making decisions to help me grow. And in turn, that benefits everyone around you. And you can do this too. I've been where you are. I know how it feels. You deserve more than how you feel today, believe me. So if you're a man that's been drifting through life and you're ready to feel grounded again, how good would it feel to have clarity, energy, and purpose back in your life in 10 weeks? I'd love to support you on that journey. So let's have a chat. I promise there'll be no pressure, there'll be no bullshit. I won't be pushing you to do anything you don't want to do. We'll just have a conversation to see if this is the right fit for you. So book your grounding call or just send me a message and let's get started. Chat to you soon, guys.